Capricorn, welcome back. I'm just looking at your energy and your card, the card that is for the first half of September 2022, and we will channel the messages. There could be some things that are coming through that are going to take you all the way through to October, and I may come mid-month. We'll wait and see, depending on how my schedule kind of pans out. But there is going to be a lot of changes that I do make to YILDIZ readings 5D between now and October. So I'll launch more of those things more in the month of October at a practical level, because we'll be away from Mercury retrograde and hopefully things will be a bit more settled from a logical point of view. Let's put it that way. We're going to get into your channeled messages for the first part of it, and then we're going to move into singles, couples, and twin flames, onto your ascension energy and how this moon transit and Mercury retrograde will directly impact your star sign. So first, onto the section of your channeled messages. Now, number one is we do have the sacral chakra in reverse for you. And it's funny because last month for you, especially with the transits in Aquarius, a lot of you may have felt that there was a lot going out and not a lot coming in. And you may feel a little bit like flat, okay? Flat moving into the first week of September, really wondering, if you got any more steam yet to go. And I really do feel you do. Some of you could be getting into some fitness and you could be a bit frustrated. You could be really running around like Penny Little, the sky's falling down. You also could be really tuning into a lot of subject matters, and this could be a great time for paperwork, great time for clearing the home, getting things in order so that you can have more organisation and structure in your life. I think the thing to be aware of, which I'm mentioning this very early in the piece, is Mars will sit in your 6th house for over 8 months, and it is in the house of Mars. Okay, so it's a Gemini. The house of Gemini is in the house of Mars, and it's linking to your 6th house of health. So I would say during Mercury retrograde, if you are starting an exercise plan, to be very careful because you can be a little bit accident prone. I also feel it's important to not burn the candle at both ends. You can find, particularly in the first, during Mercury retrograde, it can be a little bit more tedious. You can be more accident prone. So just really be careful for your food, making sure you're eating clean food. If you're getting takeout, get them to make it fresh, and also to always check the contents, because Mercury is going to be retrograde in a Venus sign. So it will be food related dynamics, and it's important to try and keep a routine as much as you can. You'll be fighting very, firmly to make that happen, but it can be a little bit difficult for you. Psychically, I do feel when it does come to motivation, it's almost like a pause. And I feel, especially because for you, particularly all the way from 2020, you guys have had very hard-hitting transits. And psychically, what I'm sensing is it's almost like you pulled the brakes on. And I feel those brakes that you pulled on are so you can make some sense of things. And you're making very practical plans where it does come to everything in your life. I just think you have had so much, maybe it could have been loss, it might have been endings and new beginnings, that especially after we had the moon in Virgo, vibrationally, I feel you're just needing to take a minute. I do feel particularly there could be a subject at the moment that you're addressing, especially around love. I also feel that there could be some changes that are happening in the way that you're dealing with your stress levels. And I feel you really feel something's got to give. I'm feeling, some of you are needing to put your foot down with the circumstance. Some of you, what you're wanting to do, like it's big, it feels really big. It's like, okay, I have this big plan. I have this big picture of what I want. Am I going to be understood? Am I going to be able to take those steps? Can the problem be worked out? I do feel particularly it is possible, but I'm seeing some element of paperwork involved, and it's going to take a little bit of tweaking, a little bit of time, but I do feel whatever that plan is, I do feel it's going to be successful, but I do think you need a moment. I definitely feel your guides are sending you messages. Now, these can be loved ones on the other side that are transitioning over. I don't know why they're showing me a TV. This could be a father figure energy. It could be a grandfather. On this occasion, it does feel it's a male energy. But I don't know why I've been shown a television set. It could be a TV show that comes on. Some sense of synchronistic messages being sent to you. And I'm hearing the term, my guides always use this term, they're like YILDIZ message in a bottle. So they're trying to say to you that they're trying to send you a message, but you need to sit quietly and listen, and they're going to give you the message. You know, just ask the question and they will give you the message, and it'll come to you quite subliminally. I do feel you miss this person. I feel, you know, it was a simpler time in life. I feel this also can be a time of new chapters, and you're kind of wondering if that happiness and that bliss is going to come back. And so this, you know, it's almost like you're putting a pause on things. You're trying not to get angry. You're just wanting. It's almost like the Hermit card in Tarot. I'm saying you're just very reflective, very. It can feel stagnant, but it's a choice of stagnancy, I feel, at this point within your own life, because I think you need a minute to digest everything that's going in. I'm also hearing the term that digestion for you could be something that has been coming up at a spiritual level. You know, it's almost like food not tasting so good. Some of you are renegotiating the terms of a contract. You're not quite happy with the way it's going. This could be do you stay, do you go kind of energy. I do feel, you know, you'll use this month to reflect upon that. But also feel, again, you're not telling anyone. You're keeping your cards very close to your chest. You know, be it it's love, be it it's career, be it you're making some big plans, but you're being very tactical. You're being very emotionally intelligent. You're keeping your toots to yourself. I feel a lot of you are burnt out. You're burnt out to the point that you feel something has to give. I do feel some of you are, you know, kind of due a holiday. There also could be something in a different country that you're needing to address, and you're kind of like, is this the right time to do it? Should I do it right now? I feel you're going to do this during Mercury retrograde, but I feel it's via the internet. I feel it's via Messenger or Skype or Zoom. It feels like you're going to do some sort of a communication, but initially you're going to be doing it in that format. It could be you talking to a friend and getting some ball rolling. For some of you, I actually do see a business project, or this can be something to do with money, and you're kind of looking at it and going, okay, well, I need a bit more details. It's a finalization of some sort of chapter, but it feels that you're doing it via the intranet. That's what I'm hearing. It's old. It is an old situation. It definitely is an old situation. We're going to get into romance. Let's have a look at singles. Okay, those of you that are singles, this is one of those months, yes, due to Mercury retrograde. We will be hearing from those blasts from the past, but yet again, I do feel there's also somebody, for some of you, there is an individual that you have a close connection to. It could be a friend or it could be a work colleague, and I do feel they're directly attracted to you. You particularly, whoever this person is, especially if this is a blast from the past, and we are going to cover twin flame path in this video. So we're going to cover singles, couples, and then twin flames. And some of you, this could link to a twin flame. So it could be that they're a professional. It might be that they take a higher role. This, you know, for you emotionally, I do see a party. I do see a social event. Some of you are going to be reflecting back to a previous situation that you experienced with this individual. Some of you are also going to hear that a friend is getting engaged. Nevertheless, I do feel you're really investing in an element of independence, and I kind of feel you're okay with that. You kind of do know what you're looking for, and unless you get the whole caddy, you're not really interested. Somebody is very, very attracted to you at this point in time. I do feel some of you could hear some information in the first 5 days of September that is going down with this person. Some of you, they may reach out to you. Some of you could hear that this person has actually traveled, and it could be that you're seeing them. You could bump into them. This could be anywhere. This could be a church. It might be Again, via the internet, but I do feel there's a bump into this person. I do feel those of you that are single are really questioning what your purpose is, what the purpose of what the purpose of life is. This could be a very spiritual time for you, and I think you're going to be really investigating. I'm also hearing the candy shop, and I don't know what the heck that's about. Could be in the context of if this person comes and goes in your life, you're a little bit fed up of that, and that can really relate into the twin flame path. Some of you, I do feel you're going to have some really wonderful things happen in the month of September. But again, it's almost like a little bit of PTSD, or your psychic energy is really spiking and you're looking at things. But I get from a vibrational point of view, you're a little bit like the fly on the wall initially moving into the month of September. I do feel some of you, this person is going to reach out and they want to make amends with you. It can be that there is something that they need to talk about to finalise, and it could be an apology. Some of you also are going to get an email that your dreams are coming true. I see fighting fit. I keep saying fighting fit. I really do feel those of you that are single are going to be getting into fitness, and you can meet somebody through the gym. Couples, you guys have got a lot popping off. This can be everything to finances, to subjects coming up with your children, maybe both parties not being able to get onto the same table where it does come to holidays, etc. Look, August was pretty difficult, especially, coming from a medium point of view. August was very difficult. Definitely for all connections, point blank zero. They're going under the microscope at the moment. And I do feel if you're not happy in the connection, this can be a time you say, hey, look, this is where we're looking at the situation. We're really not on the same table, so to speak. Where do we go from here? Others of you, I feel it's different things. It can be subjects happening in your career zone, subjects happening around your family and your finances. Some of you also are getting to a point that you're trying to make time for yourself within the schedule and trying to get into some sense of balance. I do feel some of you are going to have a subject around a car coming up. It could be that it needs repairing. It could be that you're wanting the money to get your, a car, a luxury item. I'm also feeling as though some white goods might need replacing at this time, but I don't think they're breaking. I think you're just choosing to purchase something better quality. It's something you've waited for a very long time for. I do feel some of you have had a lot of pressure on yourself, and you need to discuss this with your partner about how you run your routine, what you have on your plate, if some shared help can actually come through on that. I do feel particularly their finances on their side can be changing. But there's a lot of renegotiations here, Capricorn, because it does feel the give and take in something. You're a little bit unmotivated. So I think you're testing it. And I think you're going to start talking about it by the time we reach the second week of September 2022. Twin flames, big month, lots of communication. Some of you are going to bump into this person. Some of you are going to hear gossip. Some of you, from an ascension point of view, you could be a bit strict on yourself, but the tension is actually affecting you. I'm also being shown it could be something to do, obviously, with your ascension versus stress levels and how you're eating. I feel some news, maybe that came in last month, did trigger you a little bit. But I also feel it's pushed you forward. The trigger has caused you to push forward and to actually start investing in self and wellness. I do see some of you with your value systems, you can be questioning, do we have the same value systems? Are we on the same page? Am I a twin? I do feel some of you might have met, with what you're doing, you're wondering, with the give and take, is it going to be there? Is it going to merge? With your purpose in life, what is that new purpose? Initially, when we do meet our counterpart, a lot of us hear the term soul mission. And I get this vibe that there could be something in that this month, and there could be some sense of clarity about what that subject matter is going to be. Some of you may be changing your career, and maybe you're having this feeling that you're revisiting some old hobbies and old things that you used to do, but there's something in you that's changing. And I do feel the time frame they're showing me is when something's popping off at work. I do feel some of you may actually gain communication. Some of you, I don't know why I'm hearing logistics, and it could be the logistics of this person, where they are. They could be from a foreign culture. They may be in a different location, and you're wondering how you would kind of merge both worlds. And it could just simply be that both of you have different value systems. But for some of you, this is proximity. The person could actually be overseas. For some. They're also making mention to a holiday you once had with this person. That can be for a pocket group of you. There can be a revisit to that. This person's actually thinking of marriage in that location. You or the cross watcher. Stay tuned for communication. I really do feel this is very strong, and I also feel you could be a little bit shocked of bumping into individuals. I do feel karmics are on the prowl. And I also feel it's important to really protect yourself, but know that you're safe. Great time to do a cord cutting. Great time to do an aura upgrade, especially through your ascension process. So moving towards and through this month, the key points I would say is it will be key to realize the pressure. Okay, where the pressure is where the change is required. And that will be very individual inside of all of our lives. So really pay attention to that as a cue and a key. The other thing is organization, structure, and rebuilding. Now, not necessarily the greatest time to be rebuilding that out, but rather reducing the stress and taking things away that really aren't working anymore. This can also be through your ascension process in your health and diet. I also highly recommend that you don't use pacifiers, moving easy 4 days into the full moon and easy 4 days out. Give it a little bit of time. Mercury will be going retro between the 9th and the 10th. And I do feel subjects around career, purpose, home, what you're going to do, where you're going to go, all of those things can really be up in the air. You can have a ballpoint figure thought of what you think that will look like, but it's not necessarily going to look like that at the end of the month. May need a bit more tweaking. A lot of you may have already had some of the downloads pretty much at the end of August. So if you did have that inkling, gosh, something's got to give, this needs to change, I do feel for many of you this can be a very beneficial thing. Some of you also could go up a tier level at work in the mix of this circumstance and really be seen for who you really are and get paid what you're owed. I would say very, very firmly, you must, during Mercury retrograde, look after your health, and really over the next 8 months, because Mars is transiting in your 6th house. Your routine can be accident prone. It can be bone related. It might be, your teeth and things to that degree that can come up. But it does teach you a lot about structure, routine, and success through having that kind of situation going on. Some of us also can be super critical and, go in where angels fear to tread and then go, gee, okay, I need to restructure the way I deal with my life and my circumstances. We can deem the 6th house as the house of the hidden enemies. And sometimes that can be us just through our daily routine, the things we choose to do. Again, I feel there is a blockage in your sacral chakra and solar plexus at the moment, very heavily so. It can link all the way back to your base chakra, but just pay attention where the pain body experience is coming from in your body. Eat the food groups of that area, the color code to it. Eat those food groups and keep your fluid up. A lot of us can get a little bit dehydrated moving into the full moon in Pisces and after. Now, how to ground yourself during the full moon in Pisces. I would suggest, cleaning shop. The transits via Virgo are helping us to declutter, get into some organization. Things that were hidden, you're going to find. I definitely do a clearing of the house. Open the windows up, smudge the house. You can clear your gems with salt water. You could clear them via the moon. Also, great time to eat light food groups. A lot of you are going to be attracted to spicy foods. Pisces can actually connect to spicy foods, but your tummy during this time may not cope with it. So I'd probably lay off that, go easy into it, eat lighter food groups, and definitely eat food from home. If you are eating out, what I would suggest to you is to be very aware of your surroundings. People are going to be very ratty this month with Mars in the house of Gemini, and moving to the full moon in Pisces, we could have some very interesting individuals walking about. So yes, to be self-aware of the area you are, the type of people, where their mindset is at. You need to be hyper aware of these things until after the full moon in Pisces, where it can be a little bit safer than the first 2 weeks of September 2022. I will love you and leave you. Take very good care of yourself. If you want some tools, come through and book a reading. Otherwise, I'll see you through the week.